Hi, and welcome to Sunday Segue, coming to you straight out of the UK, and boy, what a show we have for you tonight. Let's get things started. Tonight's contest will be a triple threat match. Introducing first, coming to you live from Newport, Wales, weighing 161 pounds, the technical and sound engineer, Sugar, the Gallon Sugar, Sugar. Next up, we have a man, Bristol born and bred, with countless hours of ring experience, weighing in at 175 pounds, our wrestling wrestler, the human highlight reel, E2J! And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the No Twitter fan coming to you straight out of Bristol, England, weighing in at 168 pounds, your host, Kinny Killa!
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast. I am the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the one man no Twitter fan, Kinny Killa. And you know I'm always kicking it with the hashtag tech guy, the goddamn Sugar, Sugs.
Yo, yo, yo.
Now, we do have E2J, but just not yet. So he will be coming in later to do the Beat the Clock Challenge 3, because obviously it's me versus Mr. E2J. Now this is episode 15, and it is Sunday. I'm kind of gassed because it's hot outside. It's like, it's like America out here. America. Yeah, not Black Swag, not Jack Swagger's America, but it's like America out here, the heat wise, you know what I'm saying? So I know Shugs is getting that, tanning up, getting darker by the hour.
I'm coming back. I'm ready. Topping up my tan before Florida. I'll be coming back like Snipes. So, you know how we do.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this is big as black as Wesley Snipes' lips, goddammit. Alright. So, people, as always, just follow us on Twitter. That's at Sunday Segue. Segue spelled S-E-G-U-E. Follow our blog, the Sunday Segue.blogspot.co.uk. Listen to all our old episodes on YouTube. You make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Sunday Segue. Also, all of our old episodes on the Great Podomatic, and don't forget to download that Double Twist player. Okay, so we're going to get straight into it. The Deadly Dirtsheet. So, the McMahon Feud is to lead into WrestleMania 30. So what's happening right now is obviously we see a little slow burner in terms of this feud with the McMahons going on at the moment, and it looks like it's going to keep going like this past SummerSlam all the way to WrestleMania 30. Would you be interested in seeing, this at WrestleMania 30 shows? We spoke about this, a little bit before.
Well, that's going to be like a long time. If we're talking about it's going all the way to what, April next year?
Yeah.
That's a long time for the McMahons to be on TV. I don't think we need them on. I think they're just doing it for their own egos at the moment. And I don't really see where the angle's going. So I won't be happy if this lasts. If it ended at SummerSlam, I'd be happy. But not all the way to WrestleMania. We don't want another year of this.
Yeah, I have to say touche on that one. Definitely, I agree with that. All right, so the next piece of news is Daniel Bryan has avoided punishment. Now, I said a couple of weeks ago that Daniel Bryan had an altercation backstage with Triple H, is where, Daniel Bryan's match got finished early because he got a stinger. He went off on Triple H because he finished the match. He didn't finish the match, and he avoided punishment. Triple H said to Vince McMahon, don't punish him because I just think that, obviously we were looking out for him, and then I think he just, he wanted to battle on. We're all men at the end of the day. Hear me saying like I was actually there in the boardroom in the conversation with Triple H and Vince McMahon. But that's what the dirt sheets say. Were you surprised, Shugs, that he actually avoided punishment?
Yeah, I think so. I think sometimes you need to be made an example of. But then, if he's doing well at the moment, and he already took a fine the other day for doing the chair shots and stuff, so they don't want to put him on a negative vibe. So maybe, Vince McMahon or Triple H, they always remember these things. So maybe they're just going to catch him later when he's not so hot or he's not, so integral to the storylines. So maybe it's like, I'll catch you later on one of these, on the punishment.
Yeah, a little one of them Jack Swagger ones. And the third piece of news is that there's massive Sting rumors coming out now because obviously WWE on Raw this one they did a couple of VTs on the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship. They showed a video of Sting, being one of the most, one of the best World Heavyweight Champions that we've seen. And they've never really showed Sting like that in that line before. So this has brought out rumors that Sting is actually ready at some point to jump across and come and wrestle for WWE, Don't quote me on that, but we're just going to have to see what, we're going to have to see what happens. Would you love to see Sting in WWE for a last run, Shugs?
Yeah, I think it would be good just for the surprise factor or for the prestige factor, just to see him because he's never wrestled in the WWE. But, it would have been good maybe like 5-6 years ago, Obviously he didn't, when they bought it WCW, he was one of the main ones who didn't come across. But then, whether it be good now. And apparently what I read is that he wants to fight The Rock because he doesn't want to fight Cena because that's going to be, obviously he's not going to come out on top. He doesn't want to go against the streak because he's going to lose there. So one of the ones he was looking at fighting was The Rock. And then I think that's even less likely to happen. So I would just wonder what type of program they would have for him if he actually did come across.
Yeah, yes, you make some good points there. But we're just gonna have to wait and see whether he comes over. I think that would be sick, just for a little last run. But like you said, you pointed out, we got to see what program he goes into. Right, so that's the Deadly Dirt Sheet done. We're gonna go straight into Raw now, and straight into segment 1, which was, we started Raw off with the Daniel Bryan promo. Everyone who participates in the WWE Championship Money in the Bank match came out. Shugs, do you reckon the opening to Raw was a bit long?
Yeah, it was like this section took like 15 minutes, 16 minutes. Basically, it was just people coming out and talking. And obviously, this happens like most times when Money in the Bank comes along, or most times when there's a championship match. You get the competitors coming in, doing their little promos. But I just thought this bit just dragged on. Dragged. And it's funny, like, Daniel Bryan seems to have opened every show on Smackdown and Raw for like the past like 5 or 6 weeks. He's always coming out and starting off the show. So it's good for Daniel Bryan, but I just think this bit felt a bit flat in the end.
Did anyone stand out in terms of the promos to you?
I thought like Punk was good, but Punk's always good. But then it's like it's with the Daniel Bryan character. It's like they haven't made up their mind what they're going to do with him. Is he going to be like the sort of heel, but he's getting cheered because he's doing like heel things when he's doing his promos, but then when he's wrestling, he wrestles in like a face style. So
yeah.
That's just the confusing one. And I thought, most of the others were just neither here nor there really when they came out.
Yeah, it just seemed a bit stale, and it pretty much was kind of about Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, because we started with Daniel Bryan and we ended with CM Punk, and it was just like, it was all about those guys. The guys in between were just a bit blah. It was just like, oh, you're there just to kind of fill up the segment. Okay, well, let's just go into segment 2 then, which was the Shield versus Usos and Christian again, which is a rematch because the Shield, like you said last week on SmackDown 60 Seconds, the Shield had beaten, Usos and Christian had beaten the Shield. So what did you think of this match?
Well, it was good to see that, that things have gone back to normal. So the Shield won, but obviously it was a dirty win they got. I just loved when Dean Ambrose got the pin and his face, like when he come up. That's what he's so good at, like his expressions and his like in-ring character is so good. But yeah, I was just glad to, that obviously the Usos got their win, and then I'm glad to see just the Shield getting back on top, because I don't want to see the Usos beat the Shield.
No, I don't think no one wants to see that. But do you think that the Usos need to do a bit more convincing from this performance that we saw this week?
Well, yeah, I think so. I think they got a long way to go. They need to get on the mic, and they haven't really got any type of characters. They come in and they do their intro, and they got their smiley faces, and they're all happy. But they need to, you know, get on the mic and see if they've actually got some personality or do something, you know? Because they're not going to be the head shrinkers, and they're not going to be doing what they do with a manager and just doing that. So then they need to talk.
Well, maybe like we talked about last week, maybe Rikishi being their mouthpiece may bring out that more, you know, that bit more character from them, you know. Maybe Rikishi as their manager or something, you know, my pops is here, blah, 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 we're going to run roughshod, whatever. Maybe, you know.
And what's the Rikishi's, his little speech that he does? When he finishes,
right.
He can say, my 2 sons,
right. Yeah, I know you was listening to no radio. I know you was listening to Review Away. Yeah. Right. Oh my God. Rikishi, man, just come, stink face the Shield. It's all over. Right.
All the Wheaties in the world ain't gonna stop this ass from backing up. Right.
Okay, let's go into segment 3, which was Big Ziggler versus Jinder, the man formerly known as Jinder Mahal. This was a quick match. So with the aftermath, you know, was there a reason for this? You know, what direction is this going to take Ziggler?
It's just like the Ziggler character hasn't really changed at all. He hasn't changed anything except, you know, he doesn't like go at the crowd now, whereas when he was a heel, he would go at the crowd, he might say stuff about them, but he still says about how awesome he is, and, you know, he's so damn good, and he still does everything exactly the same, and I think the crowd are confused whether they should be cheering for him or not, because they cheered for him before, even though he was a heel, because he's a great wrestler, and he, you know, takes some great bumps, but now, after his beatdown by Del Rio at Payback, I think they should have played on that more. I think rather than him just coming in trying to attack Del Rio, I think it should have been played on more. And like, I don't think feuding with 3MB is gonna make him look good, you know, because he fought Drew McIntyre. Yeah, Drew McIntyre on Smackdown. So he's fought 2 members of 3MB on the last 2 shows, you know, but I don't think it's doing anything for him.
Yeah, well, I totally agree. It's a bit weird right now. Like you said, they're focusing on the wrong things and the wrong aspects of, you know, of Ziggler in terms of moving it forward. But we talked about this last week. He's a bit of a tweener right now, so, you know, they just don't know what to do with him right now. Does Ziggler need a finisher? We spoke about this a little bit before. Does he need a new finisher?
There's a lot of hate on the zigzag. I don't think it's like the best move in the WWE, but I don't think it's the worst. But then finding a finisher is not that easy, you know. It's like finding a new character or a new gimmick, you know. They need to go hand in hand. If you look at like Bray Wyatt, you know, then when we've seen him before when he is Husky Harris, you know, and then who would have thought he could be Bray Wyatt? But then you need the package all needs to go together. So Ziggler needs a Ziggler-esque move. You know, the sweet chin music wasn't working because it was like the sweet knee music or the sweet belly music because he couldn't get his foot up there. So what can he do? Like, you know, finding a finishing move is not that easy. I don't think so. He used to use the sleeper before, you know.
Oh, that was even worse. Yeah, I say he uses something like the X Factor, something like that. Like, you know, sit down facebuster, as I know ETJ would like to call it. All right, well, let's go into segment 4, which was Kane versus Orton with Daniel Bryan as ref. There was a little backstage segment with Kane and Bryan. Bryan saying that you know, he's got Kane a rematch with Orton, but him as a special referee, which Kane was not very happy about. You know, you talked about this previously. You know, Bryan is a bit of a tweener right now because of the way he's being portrayed, but you know, in this match in particular, he was portrayed so weird. It was like he was a heel. It was like he was a heel. But then, you know, at the end, he took a RKO. What did you think of this match in general?
Yeah, I thought the match was okay, and it was made interesting because of obviously Daniel Bryan as the ref and the way he was like conducting himself as a referee. But obviously, you know, when he did the count out and then they made him start the match again, and then obviously the quick tap, and, you know, I just think, yeah, they haven't really decided what they're going to do with him. So obviously he's going off about beating Randy Orton and like, you know, saying how great he is. So obviously he doesn't want Kane to beat Randy Orton. So is he feuding with Kane? Is he feuding with Orton? Who is he feuding with? Or is he are they just going back to saying that he's crazy again like they did before?
Yeah. I completely see where you're coming from. I mean, if that whole kind of triangle thing right now is a bit weird, and obviously it's played a bit more into it because they're all in the Money in the Bank match. But you know, whatever happens after Money in the Bank next week, I think that, you know, they should move away from that, you know, the Orton Kane thing, and obviously we'll just see if Bryan does win, then they'll move on to, you know, the next program. Okay, let's go to segment 5, which is going to make us very happy, and it's the return of Fandango. So, how happy was you, Shugs, to see Fandango return?
Yeah, it's just good to see him back on TV. I think, you know, that he was he had his really big peak, and then he was sort of like finding his level, finding his position on the card, and then obviously he got taken out with the concussion. But, you know, he's back, and he seemed to be back in the swing. You know, he's like the heel, he doesn't want to fight everyone, and if he's losing, he's like running off. But I think what he actually needs is more in-ring time. But then obviously if you're coming back from a concussion, they're going to try and reduce it, if anything. But I think what he needs to be is to be fighting longer matches and having more time in ring, which is going to help him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the character is enough for him to get over, and he plays it really well. But I think he needs more wrestling.
Yeah. So you say obviously, you know, they need more wrestling, and they've been holding him off because of concussion. But then they put him in with Sheamus, which we all know is a bully. You know, did you get pissed off when you saw who his opponent was?
Well, yeah, I did get pissed off because if you see someone fighting Sheamus, you think they're not going to win. You instantly think they're going to lose.
Yeah, standard. But they did protect him, so you know, are they protecting him? You know, going into the Money in the Bank. Do you reckon that means that he might have a slight inkling chance of winning?
No, I don't. I can't see him winning the Money in the Bank at all.
You know, straight up, flat no.
Straight no.
Okay, I'll just end that there then. I won't shed any more light on that because we're going to probably talk about that next week anyway on our prediction show, people. So, segment 6. So, you know what, people? I just got to say sorry because I know I am speaking about 100 miles per hour. Those who know me know that that's how I speak, but you're just going to have to deal with it, people, because I talk fast. You got to have quick ears. Simple as. Boom.
Say nothing.
Say nothing. Segment 6. Which is Ryback versus The Miz. Now, okay, people, I got my veins in my head are popping a bit. I got gas coming out of my ears. You know, my eyes are going red, which means there's one thing and one thing only. It's time for the rant. So hit my music. Right. What the fuck kind of booking is this? Ryback, okay, a couple months ago. I mean, I'm talking a couple, like, you know, maybe 3, 4. The guy, right, fought The Miz, and he absolutely beat The Miz up, okay? What the hell is he facing The Miz now? And he's coming on some perm thing, making The Miz look like he's $1 million, when we all know The Miz does some played out, 5-figure shitlock, like. Oh my god, it just grates on me. Who is booking this stuff? Because whoever's booking Mark Henry stuff is not booking Ryback stuff. They're just like, you know what, they're getting some kind of up and coming writer doing Ryback shit. Because Ryback is in limbo. They do not give a shit. They do not care. One, he's not in Money in the Bank, which he could have been in. They do not give 2 shits. Chris Jericho is going out. After Money in the Bank, Chris Jericho is going on a jolly, right? All right, he's not going on a jolly. He's working with his man them. But seriously, booking, man. Shugs, what are they doing with Ryback, man?
It's a bit like the Cesaro thing. It's like, has he pissed someone off? Has he done something he shouldn't be? What is his attitude not right backstage? Because they're making him look just terrible. Like, you know, to think that he's fought like CM Punk, and for the WWE title, he's fought Cena twice for the WWE title, and now he's like jobbing to the Misery basically, and then he's got this Ryback gimmick where he's whinging and he's moaning, and he quit a match, he quit a match. I've never seen that before.
Never.
So
they're making this.
Yeah, they're making him look terrible. So I don't know what is behind it or where they're going with it, but it looks like he's being punished, or looks like he's being squashed for something that he's done. Because they wouldn't. I can't see where the positive would be from this angle.
Exactly. You've been pushing him down us, making us think he's an absolute beast. He does the beast stuff, and now the beast is a pum. Thank you very much, WWE. Thank you very much. Right, segment 7. Mark Henry promo. This is what I'm talking about. Mark Henry, the big man, the proper beast, the real beast. What did you think of his promo, Shubs?
The promo was great, but the crowd are just absolute ball bags again. He switched up his delivery and sort of squashed them, but it's just like, I don't know why. I don't know why it's with Mark Henry. Maybe it's like, but he should be able to give his promo in the way he wants, So he should just be able to like do a methodical, slowing down, serious promo. But when you've got the crowd doing the what chant, it's hard to deliver it the way you want. And then he had to switch up so he could stop them doing it.
When Sheamus, y'all a bunch of puppets.
I hate it, man. I hate the what chant.
It's detracting from like great promos and the good work that he's been doing the last few weeks, And the good thing is they're not making him wrestle, so they're saving it. They're saving the physicality. They're saving everything for Payback, Money in the Bank. It looks like.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say to you. Is this a good build?
Yeah, I think it's a good build because Cena's not getting over and looking like he's all great, and they're building up Henry. I still don't think in a million years he's going to win, but I think they're building it up well. It's been a really good build. All started with that fake retirement angle, and it's gone on from there.
See, y'all a bunch of puppets. You do what I asked you to do. This is y'all right here, dancing.
Yeah. I love the ending bit. I love the ending bit of the promo. He's just like, I want this camera in my face. I want this to sink in. I want this to sink in clear. John Cena had Money in the Bank. I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna beat your ass. Oh, yeah, classic Mark Henry. Or as Michael Cole says, vintage Mark Henry. Right, so segment 8, which was CM Punk and Curtis Axel versus the PTP, the Primetime Players. Again, we're just going to keep mentioning this. No Rufus Patterson, just putting it out there. What did you think of this match? Because obviously, it's going along the whole Punk Heyman kind of storyline. So what did you think of the match?
Yeah, I think the Primetime Players, do a good job. Every time they're in the ring, they do a decent job. They're a decent tag team, except they never seem to get the push, and they never seem to get their deserved spot on the roster. They didn't really go over against Kane and Bryan, and then obviously now the Shield are heels, so they're not going to feud with them. But I thought they came up well. I thought they didn't look out of place really against Punk and Axel. I thought the way the match ended was good. Obviously, Punk hit the GTS, and then Axel tagged him on the back and then got the pin, and he looked really pissed, so I think it was good.
Okay. Yeah, well, with the way, the way it ended, the angle ended and stuff, I just think maybe that Axel has he may have a little bit of more part to play, or maybe this was his little bit of part to play, but obviously it leads to bigger things with Brock Lesnar. Well, segment 9 was Kaitlyn versus Alicia Fox. The match was very quick. It was like a 2-minute match, but then it, was a bit dry, but then it stepped up when AJ came out, as it always does. As we said, we're very impressed with her. What did you think of this whole after match with the pictures? And, will we see a gimmick match at the Money in the Bank, or will they save a gimmick match for SummerSlam?
Well, I was hoping that they wouldn't go down this angle. I like the way they did the dressing up as each other, although when AJ did it, it was much better than the way Kaitlyn did it. But, you know, this is going back to, like, when they did Piggy James, and they were taking the piss out of her, and I don't think it's, like, a good angle. I don't think that's a good way, you know, for them to be getting the divas over, you know? So basically,
It's more of that bullying stuff,
yeah,
isn't it?
it's more bullying, and it's more like, that's all they've got to say to each other, you know? The Kaitlyn's fat, and that's it, you know? So I don't like that they went this direction with it. I thought it was alright with the dressing up with each other, and, like, the Secret Admirer, that was good, and they needed to take it somewhere else, rather than, oh, you're fat, and I'm not, you know?
Yeah. And what about the gimmick match? Do you see a gimmick match at Money in the Bank, or do you see it culminate and finishing in a gimmick match at SummerSlam?
I think they're going to try and keep it going till SummerSlam. So then, I don't see what type of gimmick they could do at Money in the Bank, between these two. Because, you know, well, they had the submission, so maybe they could do something like an I Quit match. But, you know, I think it would be good if they had something like a ladder match, you know?
Really
put the divas out there, like, you know, because they're trying to compete now, but they're trying to compete wrestling-wise. So, like, obviously in TNA, you had the Gail Kim and
Terrence Terrell.
Terrell. And then you had like another good match like the other week between Mickie James and one of the other knockouts. So I think it's ramping up between the two companies competing with these divas. So I think it's good that they're in a sustained program, you know. But then I think they need to be maybe wrestling each other a bit more.
Yeah, I would be happy to see a ladder match. You know, I would definitely be happy to see a ladder match for the title.
I think they could do it as well. I think, you know, like AJ should be comfortable doing it, and I think Thing is improving as well. Kaitlyn's improving. So yeah, I think it'd be really good.
Yeah, man. Spear through the barricade, Black Widow on top of the ladder. There you go. I'd love to see that. Okay, well, we're going to segment 10, which was Antonio Cesaro versus Cody Rhodes. They come out. Rhodes scholars come out together, you know, Sandow with his Chris suit, as usual, telling everyone to shut up, you know, and silence and all that. Swagger also returned with his big face. Are they trying to create, you know, a full breakup with the Rhodes scholars, or is it just tension for Money in the Bank?
I think at Money in the Bank will be the break off. I think that's what they're going for. The way they're interacting with each other. And I think they'll be pushing Sandow over. So if it turns Cody Rhodes face, then that might be good. He might actually start winning some matches then. And like a feud between those two would be really good if they feud with each other. So yeah, I think that this is going to be the end of Rhodes Scholars at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I love the disaster kick, man. Yeah, love that disaster kick. And the what's it called? The Crossroads. Yeah, that move is big. That move is big. He does need a bit of a break now, man, because they've been taking a mick with him a little bit, you know. He had a good run with the whole mask thing, but this mustache thing is just a bit dumb now. Okay, how good was Cesaro in this match?
Yeah, I think Cesaro's just like, we all know that he's a good worker, and he just needs the time, and he needs like the spotlight on, you know, on Raw and SmackDown, not on Main Event or Superstars. And it's another one of those things, like Chris Jericho, everyone who works with Cody Rhodes looks good, or looks better than they normally do. And Cesaro's good anyway, so he looks much better when he's working with Cody Rhodes.
Well, yo, his magic cannot work with Mr. fucking Bo Dallas. I'm just gonna, you know what? You guys will be lucky to hear my rant music play again. I'm telling you now, NXT this week, they made fucking Bo Dallas go over on Cesaro. Bo Dallas!
Does this mean you're not a believer?
You know what? Blood. Oh, I swear, the gas is hitting my head. I'll swear it down now. This Bo Dallas dude is so wet. He is so shit. And the thing is as well, the crowd know it because he is a face and he gets booed. The NXT arena is not massive, okay? It's not big. But you know how big it is when Paige comes out. You know how big it is when this wet Bo Dallas comes out and his ass gets booed. Oh my gosh. You're the NXT champion, you're facing, you're getting booed. Enough said. They're shouting, "We the people." They are shouting, "We the people," bruv. Cesaro is a heel. Enough said. Right. I'm just gonna go on to segment 11 quick because it's total diva segment, which is bullshit anyway.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You know, we saw these new girls, JoJo and Ava Marie. Yeah, bum ting, Ava Marie. But we're just going to say this now. That was super scripted, Suggs, wasn't it?
Well, I saw them in the backstage, and I'm just like, fuck this, and just fast forward it. I don't even know. I don't want to know what they said. I don't want to know what happened. It would just look like a whole shitstorm on the TV. So I just didn't bother. So you'll have to tell me what happened.
It was a whole shitstorm. It was super scripted. Bella's came out looking all, trying to be all bad or whatever, trying to belittle all of them. JoJo comes out saying, I made my debut last week. Pff, JoJo, I never saw you, girl. That's probably because we don't watch main event or superstars, so you probably made your debut on there. But
she was singing the Funkadactyl's theme song really badly. So I'm gonna have to try and find the audio, and I'll try and slip it in right here.
Oh my gosh! I'll tell you what. Then after, like, Natalia come out, you know, chatting like, you know, Miss Goody Two Shoes, saying, "Oh, Bella's, why are you out here just trying to make yourself look good?" Then she comes off with the most ghetto thing ever. She says, "Oh, what are you doing, girls? Blah blah blah." Then she goes, "Church." All of them just go, "Church." I'm like, what is this? What is this? It was so, yes. They were all just started going in on the Bellas and were just shouting, "Church." And I was like, no, this is cringe. Like, literally, you're going to start shouting "church" up in the backstage of Raw in Iowa. Enough said, man. Just watch it for pure entertainment factor. But enough said about that. We move on to segment 12, which is the very last segment on Raw, which is Cena versus Alberto Del Rio. No Ricardo Rodriguez. Shugs, why?
Well, he's suspended. He's on a 30-day suspension, but for what? I don't know why. I don't know. So I don't think the dirt sheets had what he was suspended for. They just said he was suspended. Obviously, it's not going to be for no steroids or for anything like that because he ain't exactly in shape. So.
Actually, I just seen something. It is apparently to do with fat burners.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, some fat burners. But and there's some comment here by one of his friends saying he posted that on Twitter, then removed it, saying about, you know, all these guys are getting arrested for DUIs, you know, smoking weed and all that shit, and they're not getting punished, but yet man is getting punished for fat burners. So there you go. Enough said. But he was missed. You know, even though they're here now, he was definitely missed.
Yeah, I think that it shows like Del Rio doesn't look right without Ricardo by his side, you know? Yeah. I think he struggles to get over as it is, as a face or a heel. But I think that he just struggled without him.
Man, he does struggle without him. Because he is that kind of, you know, he's that before part of Del Rio. He's that kind of the guy on his shoulder to make him look, you know, which makes him look good, and it's just for Del Rio just to kind of make himself look good after that. But in terms of Del Rio making himself look good, did you like the match, and how did you feel about, you know, the end angle?
Well, the end was bullshit, you know, straight up bullshit. Because if you have champion against champion, neither of them should ever win unless they're going to unify the belts. And, you know, I don't think that's a good idea, although, like, the World Heavyweight title is not as big as the WWE title. But as long as they're going to have two shows, I think they need two belts. So there should always be some type of interference, or there shouldn't be, like, some type of no finish. You should never have one champ going over another champ. It's bad for the company. It's bad for business, you know? And Cena, just to get pinned by Cena is just like, what is the point? How does that help anyone?
It doesn't make any waves. It would make more waves if Del Rio pinned Cena, you know?
Exactly.
But you're completely right. You're completely right with the whole thing. Even if it wasn't
a clean, but it was like a clean win. Like, what really happened? You know? Like, I know Ziggler was there, and I know Mark Henry came, but, like, nothing, you know, they didn't cost him the win, really, you know?
Yeah,
It was a more distraction, you know? If Ziggler come in and, like, zigzagged him and then Cena pinned him, or, you know, Cena got a World's Strongest Slam and Del Rio pinned him, fair enough, you know? But, like, he just went over on the World Heavyweight Champ.
You know what, yeah? They should have did an angle, similar to what they did with Bret Hart and Diesel back in the day, when they were fighting, and then all of a sudden, Bob Backlund and Owen Hart came in to F up Bret Hart, and then Shawn Michaels came in to F up Diesel, and they just all came in at the same time and just F'd each other up, and then the referee just had to stop the match, like just had to just stop it. They should have just done something like that.
When Daniel Bryan and CM Punk had those like series of matches, no one went over on anyone. Like it's always going to be like a clusterfuck, and something's going to happen, But this is just bullshit. I'm not like the biggest Del Rio fan, but the one champ should never go over on the other. If it's like the IC champ, fair enough, because they treat that like shit anyway, but not the two top tier champions of the company to have one beating the other.
Exactly. It's dumb. Okay, guys, so that's the end of Raw. Just hold on now. Hold on. Beat the Clock is coming soon. Beat the Clock is coming soon. I'm just going to ask Shugs, obviously, if our people them are debuting tomorrow, how excited are you about the debut of the White family? Like
my excitement has like sort of gone down as all these promos have gone. The promos have been good. The work has been good. I think I would have liked it more to be a surprise or to be quicker, So like one promo and then none the next week and then another promo. So rather than them, when is Michael Cole talking about it and Jerry Lawler talking about it? It feels more forced now than it did originally.
Yeah.
When we had those Chris Jericho angles that would like sort of cut into the programming, and then they were like, "Oh, it's coming." I know it was shit when it happened, but I think that would have been better.
Do you think? Carry on.
Now I'm just interested to see what's going to happen. I've been looking forward to it, but now I'm just interested to see basically what they're going to do. So I would have rather not known when they will come in as well. I don't want to know next week we'll be on. I want them to just show up. And
that's what I was going to say.
Shit,
That's what I was going to ask you. Would it have been better, them just showing up and just everyone being like, similar to like the Nexus? What happened with the Nexus?
Yeah, I always think the next night after a pay-per-view is the best night to debut as well. Because it's always like a short, like a reset. After a pay-per-view, it's like a mini reset, The belts might change hands, people might end feuds and stuff. So I always think that they should not debut in the go-home show, but debut in like the post Money in the Bank show, or turn up at Money in the Bank,
Yeah, and just make the lights go out, and all you hear is the tune come out, eerie as fuck, and then they just come out and you just see them dragging someone away.
Well, yeah, if there's like 7 people in the Money in the Bank, they could take someone out, or they could just like take them all out,
Oh, that's the one.
Once a few people are down and on the mat and stuff, they could just like deal with a few people. He can like hit his finish on a few people and just like stroke their hair on the floor or whatever, and then I think they'll be good.
That would have been so sick. Him just coming in the middle of the Money in the Bank.
Just come in, just take the briefcase and just walk off with it.
Oh my god! Just take the briefcase, or just just go in the Money in the Bank and just kidnap someone. Just take someone away. Just like turn up.
Take Christian, man. You can have Christian.
Yeah.
Take him.
Bye, Christian. Just take him away to zoom, and he's gone. You don't know, and it just keeps the questions going. Who are these people? Where they come from? What is their reasons for taking Christian? It just adds that more. But we'll just, like you said, we'll just see. Anything else you want to say about Raw? I know you kind of ranted a bit on Iowa. Anything else?
I just think like the crowds. It shows how important like a live event crowd is. Because on SmackDown you're used to them piping in the noise and doing stuff like that, but a live crowd like makes a show. Like that after WrestleMania crowd, with like the British fans and the foreign fans and the New York fans, that's one of the best in memory. Like Payback was great as well in Chicago, and the fans made it. And the Raw after Payback with the Mark Henry, great fans make great Raws. But like these last 2 weeks, they've just been shit. They're just going through like these hick towns, and these fucking rednecks, and they don't know what's going on. So I just think they need to book better with the towns, like you can have your odd throwaway town in the middle of like your in the middle of your pay-per-view schedule, but not like right up close to like your pay-per-view.
Nah, well, we're in it's the go home show tomorrow. We're in Baltimore, Maryland, so in America, so we just have to see what happens. Your Raw rating, Shugs?
I would say like a C+. I wasn't
C+?
I wasn't that happy.
No numbers, straight C+.
Oh yeah,
I like that.
Was I supposed to give a number? Yeah.
No, it's cool. Cause
I don't want to change the format, so I'll say a 5.5.
5.5, okay. It's gone down. Raw ratings have gone down now, people. There's something to do. Baltimore, you better take heed. Do your thing tomorrow. Enough said. Think about that. Right. So, listen, you know, Smackdown in 60 seconds. No messing about. Roll with it, Shugs.
Okay, so CM Punk on SmackDown. He says he's not John Cena, but he talks about the 4th of July and about being independent. And he's an independent guy, and he does the opposite to what he normally should. Del Rio interrupts, talks about fat Americans, and challenges Punk to a match. Then we have Punk Heyman backstage. He's telling him not to fight Del Rio tonight, and he says that he's going to need help for Money in the Bank, but Punk says no. Rhodes Scholars against Usos. The Usos, for some reason, have a jobber entry, even though they're trying to push them as contenders for the Shield. The Usos win the match, and then we have a good Shield promo up on the Titantron, and talking about the Usos, and Ambrose talks about Christian, and he wouldn't beat him in 100 matches, that Ambrose would win every single one. Alicia Fox against Kaitlyn, rematch from Raw. AJ distraction, and Fox gets a roll-up, and then Kaitlyn chases AJ to the back. Big E's there in a nice stripy shirt, and he says, what about Ziggy? And she was like, I'll text him from the car. So maybe they're actually dealing with the split up of these three. We have Renee, Orton and Christian in the back, and Orton uses Christian's catchphrase that he's going to beat him in one more match. Orton and Christian, great match, but standard RKO to win. Ziggler and McIntyre, he wins and gives a promo to the crowd, but we still don't know whether he's a heel or a face. Fandango against Justin Gabriel. Okay, Fandango wins with his flying leg drop again. And then the main event, Punk versus Del Rio, Heyman on commentary. Heyman's quality on commentary says about how he helped Michael Cole when he came to WWE, and this is Cole, and a good match that ends up as a no contest. Fade to black. So Del Rio can lose against the WWE champ, but then has a no contest against CM Punk on SmackDown.
Straight BS.
Oh shit.
Right, well now you're going to hit the best segment of all time, because you're about to get stunned with Sugs Stunners.
So, jobber of the week. Well, we're going to have to go with our friend Ryan Reeves, aka Skip Sheffield, aka Ryback, aka Cryback. Okay, jobbing out to the Miz. I remember when Miz was IC champ, as we said earlier on the show, and Ryback like squashed him in about 2 minutes on his way to being in the main event, and now he's calling off his own matches, crying in the corner, and jobbing out to Miz. So I just think that's some bullshit right there. Move of the week. This is difficult. Move of the week. I'm gonna go for Alicia Fox. She does a good fisherman suplex, and it's one of the moves she can do well. You know, she hit it on Kaitlyn before she got the roll up, but have a look at Alicia Fox and her fisherman suplex. I think it's a good move. And wrestler of the week. My wrestler of the week is going to be Fandango, because it's just good to see him back. I'm so happy to see him back, and it means we can get the classic puppies chants for Summer Rae, or even get your tits out. One of the crowds is doing, so it's always fun to have you know, those type of chants when on a family show, on a PG show. Get your tits out. Yeah, so Summer Rae.
There you go. My man Fandango. Yeah, man. All right, people. The wait is over. The wait is over. It is here. Beat the Clock Challenge 3.
Previously on
The Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast. It's Beat the Clock Trivia 2.
No. Michael's real name.
Sean Heckenbottom. Michael Heckenbottom. Yeah. Michael Heckenbottom.
Sean Heckenbottom.
Did you or did you not screw?
The goddamn sugar. Shook.
I truly believe that
Kinny Killa and Mr. E2J.
screwed,
Goddamn sugar. Shook.
and he can look in the mirror and know that.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
The goddamn sugar. Shooks.
You know, Josh, last month, the Beat the Clock Trivia, I got screwed. They might try and cover it over and say there's no click in the Sunday Segue, but we all know the truth. E2J, Kinny Killa, they don't want some little young, good-looking, pretty boy from Wales to come and spoil their little wrestling podcast. But this week, I ask the questions. Will they have the answers? I don't think so. So, the one man, no Twitter fan, let's see what you know. Let's see what you're tweeting after today. The only highlight for the human highlight reel will be his scoring 0 points. They messed with the wrong man, the gal them sugar. And now, they're gonna know one thing. Payback is a bitch. Holla at